Yes. So today I want to start a very important chapter. The name of the chapter is vector. Okay. So directly or indirectly in physics, if you divide the physical quantity, so basically physical quantity divide in two parts. Okay. One is called the scalar quantity, another one is called the vector quantity. The physical quantity specially divide in two parts. One is called the scalar quantity, another one is called the vector quantity. Yes. Now, what do you mean by scalar quantity? Physical quantities which have only magnitude, they are called scalar quantity. And what do you mean by vector quantity? Physical quantities which have magnitude as well as direction, they are called vector quantity. Now, what happened? From almost from 5, 6, you know how to add, how to subtract, how to multiply, how to divide, but this all addition, multiplication, subtraction, division are only based on the scalar quantity, means they they only have the magnitude. But what happened if they are vector quantity, then how you add them, how you subtract them, how you multiply them, how you divide them. So obviously in terms of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, a vector is very, very important because it opens a new dimension for your study. So that's why it's so much important that vector portion you have in class 11 in physics, as well as you have in mathematics also. In class 12 you have a special chapter that is called vector. So you understand how important it is. And without vector, even you are not able to think about physics. So you understand how important it is. So how we represent a quantity? Suppose we represent a physical quantity. You can write in any physical quantity, like we can write F for force, we can write E for electric field, V for velocity, A for acceleration. So we can write this physical quantity. When we put an arrow on the head, that arrow on the head represent that, yes, these all are the vector quantity. So from that point of view, you have two type of representation. Yes, bolo. Okay. So what happened? So what happened? First two things. One is the symbolic representation of vector, and one is the graphical representation of a vector. So symbolic representation is a vector of is any physical quantity. You can write the physical quantity and arrow on the head. That means you are representing the magnitude as well as direction. This one is called the symbolic representation. You can write A, you can write B, you can write C, you can write any value A, B, C, D, whatever you want, means on the basis of relation. Means for force we generally represent F, for electric field we generally represent E, for velocity we represent V. So anything, any symbol you can use. And the second one is the graphical.
Sir, তোমার আওয়াজ শোনা যাচ্ছে না।
Suppose this is y-axis, this is x-axis.
Sir, you're not audible. Sir,
you're not audible.
voice crack হচ্ছে।
Sir, শোনা যাচ্ছে না। Sir,
you're not audible.
Sir, your voice is not audible.
Sir,
your voice is cracking.
Sir, your voice is not audible. We are not audible.
Sir, তোমার আওয়াজটা কেটে কেটে যাচ্ছে। Sir, তোমার আওয়াজটা কেটে কেটে যাচ্ছে।
Is some definition is there. Some definition is there. See, graphical representation. Suppose this one is y-axis, this one is x-axis, and if you represent like this OA, and suppose you make some angle, so you can show it in a particular direction. As you show it in a particular direction, some definition of vector, like we can define equal vector, we can define negative vector. Suppose what do you mean by equal vector? Just listen them, huh? And then I send you PDF file also. Suppose A and B are two vector, A and B are two vector. So if two vector are said to be equal vector, if their magnitude is equal and they are in the same direction. I repeat, two vector are said to be equal vector if their magnitude is equal and they are in the same direction. Then we can say vector A and vector B are equal vectors. Now suppose you have a vector A and you have a vector B, but they are exactly equal magnitude, they are exactly equal magnitude, but they are opposite to each other. Means one's direction in this direction, another one is in the opposite direction. So then we can say A and B are negative vector of each other. Then we can say A and B are negative vector of each other. Then you can say parallel vector. If two vector are in the same direction, if two vector are in the same direction, so then they are parallel vector. So that means all equal vector are parallel vector, but all parallel vector are not equal vector, because for parallel vector they are in the same direction. It's not necessary their magnitude is equal, but if their magnitude is equal, then also they are parallel. But if their magnitude is not equal, then also they are parallel vector. Is it clear? Is it clear? Next is next is coplanar vector. Next is coplanar. What do you mean by co? Co means same. What do you mean by plane? Plane means in the same plane. So if three vectors, suppose vector A, vector B and vector C, vector A, vector B and vector C are in the same plane, then we can say they are coplanar. Coplanar means they are in the. Next is co-initial vector. What do you mean by co-initial? If the initial points are same, if the initial points are same, then they are called co-initial vector. If the initial points are same, then they are called co-initial vector. And next is co-terminal vector. If their terminals are in the same point, then they are called co-terminal vector. Hope you understand. So you have this type of some definition there, and आरो अनेक definition और भी बहुत सारा definition हम लोग बाद में पढ़ेंगे. But the most important part from this portion is how you add two vector quantity. So what is my next topic? Next topic is addition of two vector. My next topic is addition of two vector. So addition of two vector. So this one is very, very important. Suppose you have a vector A vector and you want to add with this another vector B vector, then the resultant is called the addition of two vector. Although it's not the simple addition like scalar quantity, like you have 2 and 5. So if you add them, you have 7. But in case of vector, it's not only 2 plus 7. With that, some angle is there. So how that angle depends on them, that also depends. So to explain this addition of two vector, you have two rules. Number one is called the triangle rule of vector addition, and number two is law of parallelogram. So why they are named on the basis of that? Why they are triangle rule of vector addition and law of parallelogram? So let's we can see now one by one. So the first one is triangle law of vector addition. So suppose we have a vector A, and we have another vector B, and we have to add these two vector, and this addition of two vector is called the triangle rule of vector addition. So for that, A is one vector. Let O is the initial point, A is the final point. So this vector we put here, and this is the second vector. So we put like this. Means now we are trying to join the head of the first vector with the tail of the second vector. So we can put head of the first vector with the tail of the second vector. Now see, if this is one vector, this one is another vector. If you back it, then it complete a triangle. So this the triangle is, you can say, hypotenuse, or the third one. So the reverse of that triangle means if you move in that side, then it will be form a triangle. So not this one, just the opposite one. That means you can say in that way, if you join the initial point and final point by a straight line, if you join initial and final point by a straight line, the resultant is, the OB is called the resultant vector. I repeat, the OB is called the resultant vector. So suppose A is moving in this direction and B is moving in this direction. So this angle is called the theta. So what do you mean by theta? Theta is the angle between A and B. A is moving in this direction, B is moving in this direction. We are joining head of the first vector with the tail of the second vector. Now we have two terminal. This is the initial point, this is the final point. If we join initial and final point by a straight line, then this OB is the resultant. So we have to find out the magnitude of OB as well as the direction of OB. So when we are able to find out the magnitude and direction of OB in terms of given value A and B and the value theta, because these two things, A and B given, theta is given. So on the basis of this two value and the angle, when we able to find out the resultant, then we can say the resultant is the addition magnitude of this two vector, and angle is the resultant angle is the angle of the resultant. That means magnitude and angle, that means you get the magnitude and direction. So resultant is also a vector. So for that we drop a normal. So let it be D. We drop a normal, let it be D, and this angle is 90 degree. Now see, in the triangle ABD, in the triangle ABD, we can write it here. In the triangle ABD, what we know, cos theta. What do you mean by cos theta? Cos theta means base upon hypotenuse. So AD is our base and AB is our hypotenuse. We know the value of AB is B. So what we can write? We can write AD is AB, that is B cos theta. So instead of AD, now we can write, instead of AD, now we can write B cos theta. Similarly, sin theta. Similarly, sin theta, that is perpendicular by hypotenuse. Sin theta perpendicular by hypotenuse. So BD by AB. So what we can write, BD equals to AB. AB is how much? B. So we write B sin theta. So that means now we have B cos theta and this one is B sin theta. So from that we have one conclusion, that if this is the inclination and this angle is theta, if this is the incline and this angle is theta, along the base is cos, perpendicular with the base is sin. This along the base, so this magnitude cos theta, perpendicular with the base, so this magnitude sin theta. So along the base is cos theta, perpendicular with the base is in triangle OBD. In triangle OBD, from the Pythagoras theorem, what we can say, OB square, that is OD square plus BD square. OB square equals to OD square plus BD square. We all know it from Pythagoras theorem. What do you mean by OB square? OB is R square. What do you mean by OD? OD means you can say OA plus AD square. What do you mean by BD square? BD square means, now we can write BD, next line we put it. So OA is what? OA is A and AD is what? Plus B cos theta whole square plus BD is B sin theta whole square. So what you have? A square plus B square cos square theta plus 2AB cos theta plus B square sin square theta. So now from this A square plus B square cos square theta plus sin square theta plus 2AB cos theta. So what you have? R is equals to root under A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. We can write it. Is it clear for everyone? Can we write it?
Yes.
So now we get the magnitude of the resultant, that is root under A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. So we have the magnitude, but we all know resultant, this R, that is the symbolic representation A plus B. This resultant symbolic representation of A plus B, that is the R. This one is the magnitude. So as it is a vector, so it have magnitude as well as direction. So for direction, let this angle is the phi. Why we use phi? Because we already use theta. So as we already use theta, if we write here theta, so then you are confused which one is which theta. So it's better we use another symbol. The symbol is phi. This phi represents the resultant vector with the initial vector, which is the first vector. That means A vector. So now again from the triangle OBD, again from the triangle OBD, tan phi. What we can write? Tan phi perpendicular by base, perpendicular by base. So what we can write? Perpendicular means BD. What do you mean by base? OD. So BD is what? B sin theta. What do you mean by OD? A plus B cos theta. So phi is what? Phi is tan inverse B sin theta by plus B cos theta. So you get the resultant. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
After this, is it clear? So this is the angle, this is the resultant. This R is A plus B. It is just the symbolic representation. Here we represent this to addition, but it doesn't mean add. It doesn't mean 2 plus 5 is 7. It means R equals to 2 square plus 5 square plus 2 into 5 into angle between them. Then you get the magnitude. And what is the angle of the resultant? With the first vector, means the initial vector, that is B sin theta by A plus B cos theta, tan inverse. Is it clear for everyone?
Sir, how did you put that tan inverse?
Huh?
I did not understand. How did you put that tan inverse?
See,
Yes, sir.
listen, this is the inclination. So if this angle is phi from the triangle OBD, can we say tan theta is perpendicular by base?
Yes, sir.
Because you know this magnitude, you know this whole magnitude, but this क्या बोलता है इसको? Hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is a little bit complicated value, so it's better we can write in the form of perpendicular and base. So we use tan theta is perpendicular by base, and we find out theta. So you can find out this theta or phi. You can find out in terms of sine, in terms of cos, in terms of tan theta is theta or phi is phi. Are you getting my point? Huh?
Understood, sir.
So that's why we find out the phi, means the angle. मुझे एंगल निकालना है, मैं tan का फॉर्म में निकालूं, sin का फॉर्म में निकालूं, cos का फॉर्म में निकालूं, कोई मतलब नहीं है. निकालना तो एंगल है, tan थोड़ी निकालना है, एंगल निकालना है. तो tan में क्यों निकाला? tan में निकालने से आसान है. मेरे को परपेंडिकुलर ये वैल्यू भी मालूम है और ये वैल्यू भी डायरेक्ट मालूम है. अगर मुझे ये वैल्यू मालूम है और ये करके मैं साइन करके भी निकालू, आई गेट द सेम वैल्यू, लेकिन ये कितना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड लगेगा बोले तो b sin थीटा बाय रूट अंडर a स्क्वायर प्लस b स्क्वायर प्लस 2ab cos थीटा। इस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी को हटाने के लिए हम लोग यहाँ पे tan phi करके phi का वैल्यू निकाला। ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
So now the next part is, this one is the triangle rule of vector addition. Now the next one is law of parallelogram. So देखो law of parallel, तुम लोगों का एग्जाम में examiner can ask you any one triangle law or law of parallelogram. So for both law, derivation and these all parts are exactly same. तो एक ही चीज लिखो, only the difference is the figure. So what happened in law of parallelogram? Suppose A is a vector and B is another vector, but now you connect tail with the tail. Are you getting my point? In the last one, we connect head of the first vector with the tail of the second vector. Now here we connect both initial vector, means the tail of the first vector with the tail of the second vector. So let it be O, let it be A, and now we draw a line parallel to this one. और फिर इसका parallel to this one. So now how it look like? It look like a parallelogram, na? Now if you connect this point and this point by a straight line, this is the R. So this angle is theta. So obviously this angle is also theta. We can write OA, this one is B. We can draw a normal. Let it be D. Isko C मान लो. Now as this is D, this one is 90 degree. So now this one is B cos theta, because these two are equal vector, same magnitude, same direction. See, same magnitude, same direction, same magnitude, same direction. So these two are also equal. So along the base is cos, perpendicular with the base is sine. So this means what? Again we can use OBD. So everything is same. अरे बाबा इसको अगर नहीं सोचेंगे तो ये तो ट्रायंगल ही था, सिर्फ ये फिगर में ये ऊपर वाला शेड और ये डीप लाइन और डॉटेड लाइन देके और इसको डॉटेड लाइन कर दो, so it will be look like a parallelogram. So this one is called the law of parallelogram. मतलब ये दोनों का बीच में से जो रिजल्टेंट जाएगा, जो इसका जो डायगोनल होगा पैरेललोग्राम का, वही तुम्हारा रिजल्टेंट है. रेस्ट एवरीथिंग इज एज इट इज. तो अगर लॉ ऑफ पैरेललोग्राम बोलेगा, फिगर मुझे ये बनाना है, डिराइवेशन सेम. अगर ट्रायंगल लॉ बोलेगा, पहला वाला फिगर होगा, रेस्ट इज एग्जैक्टली सेम. अप टू दिस इज इट ओके और नॉट? फर्स्ट टेल मी.
Yes, sir.
Important note, if theta is 0 degree, what do you mean by theta is 0 degree? Angle between A and B is 0 degree. That means vector A and vector B are in the same direction. So if vector A and vector B are in the same direction, then cos 0 is how much? Tell me anyone.
Sir, 1.
1. So 1.
1. So what we can write, R is equals to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos 0 degree. And one more important information, the value of cos theta and sin theta, maximum value is 1 and minimum value is -1. So this cos theta and sin theta, they can vary only between -1 and 1. Means if you find cos theta is 2 or cos theta sin theta is -2, then directly you can say it is not possible. Okay, or maybe you are wrong. So A square plus B square plus 2AB, that means A plus B whole square, that means A plus B. And see, as the maximum value is 1, so this whole thing depend on this cos theta. If the theta is increasing, the R is increasing, and at 0 degree it is maximum. Means For cos 0, it is maximum. So what you can say, when the 0 is the angle, R is maximum. So what is the maximum value of two vectors? Simple, add them. And if, the first point, second point, if theta is 180 degree, what do you mean by 180 degree? Vector A and vector B are in opposite direction. If vector A and vector B are in opposite direction, then cos pi is how much?
Minus 1.
Excellent. Cos pi is -1 is -1. Excellent. So R is then minimum. Why? Because the maximum value is 1 and minimum value is -1. So minimum is what? A square plus B square plus 2AB cos 180. So that means A square plus B square minus 2AB. That means A minus B whole square. That means A minus B. So this is the maximum value and this is the minimum value of the addition of two vectors. Okay, and one more thing, if the angle is 90 degree, then what happened? The angle is 90 degree, then what happened? If the angle is 90 degree, then cos 90 is how much?
0.
Plus
1.
Baba, 0. Very good. Cos 90 is 0. So R is what? R is A square plus B square plus 2AB cos 90 degree. That is root under A square plus B square. It looks like Pythagoras theorem. Why? Because yes, if A is a vector and B is a vector, and if they are 90 degree to each other, the resultant is the hypotenuse according to Pythagoras theorem. So you can write directly the resultant is A square plus B square. Okay, after that,
Sir,
huh? Bolo.
sir,
Huh?
sir.
Okay. This two vector makes an angle 90 degree. So resultant is 3 square plus 4 square. 2 into 3 into cos 90. So cos 90 is 0. So this one is 5 unit. So this one is the resultant which makes an angle phi, with the initial vector. So tan phi is 4 sin theta by 3 plus 4 cos 90 degree, because this one is B. So B sin theta by A plus B cos theta. So here this one is B and this one is A. So B is 4 and A is 3. So 4 sin 90 by 3 plus 4 cos 90. So this is 4 by 3. Now we all know from class 10, 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. But this one is also very popular in class 11, that if this one is 4, if this one is 4, this one is 3, this one is 4, this one is 3, this one is 5, because 3 square plus 4 square equals to 5 square. And if we suppose this angle is theta, so basically what happened, tan theta, that is perpendicular by base, 4 by 3. So theta is 53 degrees. So remember this value. So if theta is 53 degree, so tan 53 degree is 4 by 3. So if this one is 53 degree, this angle is 90 degree. So this angle is 37 degree. Okay. So what happened? So if we write tan 50 degree, that is 53 degree 4 by 3. So sine 53 degree is how much? Perpendicular by hypotenuse 4 by 5. Cos 53 degree is how much? Base upon hypotenuse 3 by 5. Similarly, tan 37 degrees is how much? Now see, now this one is base and this one is perpendicular. So because now this, we use this angle 37 degree. So now this one is perpendicular. So what we can write? 3 by 4. Now this is perpendicular, this is base and this is hypotenuse. Are you getting my point? इसको ऐसे घुमा के सोचो. So sine 37 degrees what? Perpendicular by hypotenuse 3 by 5. cos 37 degrees, how much? Base upon hypotenuse 4/5. So if you just remember one value, tan 53 degrees 4/3, so you can remember the rest 5 values. And here also it frequently sometime given in your class 11 and 12. So tan theta is 4/3, that means theta is 53 degree. So this angle is 53 degree and this angle is 20 degree. So overall is how much? 53 degree plus 20 degree. So how much? 73 degree. So what is your answer? Answer is 5 unit and 73 degree with x-axis. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now if it is clear, then I want to give you one more question, and then today I post some homework for you, and next day we discuss that homework, and then we start. Next means Thursday, because Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday same lecture, Shonda wala same lecture repeated hoga, फिर Thursday को इसका second part शुरू होगा. Okay. So one more question. The question is like this: maximum and minimum values of the resultant, maximum and minimum values of the resultant of two forces acting on a particle on a point. Sorry, the maximum and minimum values of the resultant of two forces acting at a point are 7 Newton and 3 Newton. So let the forces are F1 and F2. So the maximum value means F1 plus F2. That is how much? 7 Newton. And F1 minus F2, how much? 3 Newton. So maximum value, maximum F1 plus F2 and minimum F1 minus F3. So if you add them, what happened? 2F1 is 10. So F1 is how much? 5 Newton. So if F1 is 5 Newton, F2 is how much? 2 Newton. So what is the question? Question is that find the value of the smaller force. So among these two, which one is the smaller?
F2.
F2.
So the answer is F2.
F2.
Okay. चलो एक और question देता है, and that is the last question. I just want to show you how you solve the numerical on the basis of requirement. Okay. So देखो question दिया है. ये question मैं तुम लोगों को PDF में भेज दूंगा आज. The resultant of the two force 3P and 2P is R. So 3P and 2P is R. So R is the resultant of the two force 3P and 2P. If the first force is double, so 3P becomes 6P. Then the resultant is also double. So R becomes 2R. Okay. Question is that find the angle between the two forces. So you have to find out what? You have to find out the angle. So how can we do it? Suppose this one is 3P.
স্যার তোমার ভিডিওটা স্কিন হয়ে আছে
স্যার ভিডিওটা ফ্রিজ হয়ে গেছে হ্যাঁ স্যার ভিডিওটা
স্যার
স্যার
স্যার স্যার ভিডিওটা স্কিন হয়ে আছে
স্যার স্ক্যাচ হয়ে গেলে নাকি স্যার
স্যার
স্যার মিটিং এ নেই স্যার হচ্ছে
So suppose one vector is 2P, one vector is 3P, another vector is 2P. The resultant is R. Now when this 3P becomes 6P, then the resultant is, this resultant is also 2R. So find the angle between them. This is the question. This is the question. So how can you find out? Very simple. That R is the resultant and theta is the angle between them. So what is the formula? A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. So what we can write? 3P square plus 2P square plus 2 into 3P into 2P cos theta. So what is the value? 9P square, 4P square, 12P square cos theta, that is 13P square plus 12P square cos theta. Let it be equation number 1. Now when 3P becomes 6P, resultant is also double. So 2R, in that case 3P becomes 6P square plus 2P square, it will be remain same, no effect on 2P, 2 into 6P into 2P cos theta. So what we have? 40P square plus 24P square cos theta. So can we square it? 4R square 40P square plus 24P square cos theta. And we also squared this one also. R square, that is 13P square plus 12P square cos theta. Let it be equation number 1. So can we put the value of equation 1 in equation 2?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we have to take that 4 down.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
So that 4 we have to take down, then we can put it. We can equalize them.
Yes. So 4 under bracket 13P square plus 12P square cos theta is equals to 40P square plus 24P square cos theta. So what you have? 13 13 26 26 26 52. 52P square 48P square cos theta, that is 40P square plus 24P square cos theta. Okay?
স্যার আবার
So-
ভিডিওটা স্কিল হয়ে আছে।
আবার হয়ে গেছে still?
স্যার এখন ঠিক আছে?
না না
হ্যাঁ
স্যার
এখন ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু মাঝে মাঝে হয়।
আরে নেটওয়ার্ক কি বলবো বল, রিলায়েন্সকে এত টাকা দিতেছি, শালা চোরগুলো।
তো বাজে নেটওয়ার্ক একদম।
আরে তুই ভাব, অপটিক্যাল ফাইবার 1000 টাকা করে এটার জন্য দিতেছি, তারপরে আবার আমার জিওর জন্য পয়সা দিতেছি। জিওতে কিচ্ছু, মানে জিওর চেয়ে থার্ড ক্লাস কিচ্ছু নাই। তারা ইন্ডিয়ান কোম্পানিগুলো চায়নার সঙ্গে কম্পেয়ার করে আর চুরি করে। কোনো পাবলিক স্যাটিসফ্যাকশন বলে কিচ্ছু নাই। শুরুর দিকে একটু ভালো হয়ে যায়,
এয়ারটেল তো ভালো,
তারপরে চুরি শুরু যায়। হ্যাঁ
এয়ারটেল তো ভালো, ওটাও ইন্ডিয়ানই।
কোনটা? কোনটা? So cos theta is minus 12 by 24, that is 1 by 2. So when the cos theta is minus half, theta is 120 degree.